This is Life Advisor Kent with lifeadvisorservices.com. This video is our ABC worksheet, and we're going to talk a little bit about how to fill it out. If you have not seen any of our previous videos, I always recommend going to our intro to cognitive behavioral therapy. And there are two other previous videos that are related to this. Your bad behaviors worksheet and then your problem ranking worksheet. We recommend that you do those two first before you kind of move on to your ABC. It'll help you kind of set you on the right path of where you need to go. So we did the first two worksheets. We filled them out. We're getting a little bit better understanding of kind of the self-help and hopefully a little bit more about Life Advisor Services and kind of, how we're approaching some of major issues that people deal with every day: depression, anger, anxiety, just that negative thinking. So by this point, hopefully, you can see that how your thoughts, your beliefs, and personal meanings affect how you feel. Also how your feelings affect how you behave. And then how your behavior also affects how you feel. And also about how your emotional state can affect how you see the world around you. Just if you're depressed and you're walking around and you see things, it's a totally different viewpoint than if you're walking around and you're not depressed. If you're happy, you're upbeat. The way that we encounter things is going to be affected by the way we're thinking. In general, the more depressed you feel, the more you tend to have more depressed thoughts. And the world will seem bleak around you, dangerous, joyless. You'll be heavily critical. You won't be, you'll be kind of the anti to everything. You're going to pay more attention to the kind of the bad things in the news. And you're going to focus on the negative things in your life. Or if you're in an office environment, you tend to go and find the negative issues, or also find other people that are kind of depressed and that are also kind of in that main mindset as you, where you can feed off back and forth. And now we're going to start hopefully changing that thought process. And with the ABC worksheet, it's one of the primary methods of CBT. It helps us track our unhealthy negative thinking, your thoughts, your beliefs, kind of everything that we've been talking about. And if you watch our introductory videos, this is going to be a little bit of a review. But what's the A? It's that activating event. What's the B? It's the beliefs. What's the C? Is the consequences. And we're going to talk about the ABC a lot more in upcoming videos. It is that whole basic foundation. Doing those earlier checklists, that's what you're building for, but this is really the foundation. And we're also going to have other methods and other, assessments and checklists, because a lot of times it'll take something different for people to kind of get that light bulb to click. But for most people, this is kind of where the heavy lifting comes into play. With that heavy lifting, it takes work. And, that's why we talk about, you got to write your thoughts down. You got to be journaling. If you choose to, that you need a little bit more support and work with us, lifeadvisorservices.com a little bit more, we can help you one-on-one to kind of stay focused, stay on track, and kind of keep you a little disciplined and say, hey, what are we doing? We need to keep pushing forward. But the great thing is that you can do this on your own. So let's just take a quick look at what is the ABC. We talked about it. It's the activating event. And our example that I'm using is because we have a disagreement with somebody. Doesn't matter if it's a friend, coworker, family. All of us have been there. This happens to every one of us. So your belief is they think I'm stupid and won't listen to me. You're in this conversation, and because of what we talked about earlier, you have that negative point of view. So you're telling somebody something, and they're not listening to you. And we will talk about in future videos about how our preconceived way we view the world affects us. So we have an argument with somebody, and our head will already jump to that they think I'm stupid because they're not agreeing with me. I feel aggravated. My heart's racing. I start yelling, kind of like how I feel like I'm doing right now. So I get excited. And when people start getting excited and raising their voice, not too often do they start listening then. Well, so what could I have done differently? And this is the part that we're trying to change that negative thinking. Well, I need to remain calm. I need to respect their view and listen and wait maybe 5 seconds before I react. And remain calm, explain your point, and try to be less threatening. Because the less threatening you are with somebody, the more you're talking with them instead of shouting, raising your voice, the more it's going to get through. And the more they're going to be open to listening to you. We've all been there. We've all have been so passionate and emotional about something that we raise our voice and we kind of see red. And we just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Instead of, oh, I really need to try to explain to this person what I'm trying, my viewpoint to get across. Now, this is just one example, and once you start doing this, you'll start seeing patterns that it may be, I'm depressed. My bad behavior is that I start arguments with people for really no reason, going back to our previous 2 worksheets. So then when you go into work the next day, and after you kind of, spend 10, maybe, 15 minutes on this, you get in that situation again, you say, well, hold on to brakes. I'm just going to wait 5 seconds before I respond. I'm going to make sure I'm not talking at them. I'm talking with them. So here's a very printable worksheet that kind of get you started. And just look for that, journal away. Or if you have your thoughts and you can kind of keep them in there, that activating event. Think about your day. What was your belief or thought at the time? What was your behavior at the time? Even if you think you're right, even if you're 100% you're right, it had an emotional effect on you. It had an effect on your belief. There was an activating event that made it kind of stick out in your head. So write it down and connect it. Well, this was kind of our intro to cognitive behavior therapy, the supporting worksheets and the last, 2 videos and this one that goes along with that. Like I say, we're going to be putting out a lot more information, but once again, there's the 3 worksheets that you can get off lifeadvisorservices.com. Go there, print them out. And as always, if you have any questions or need any more info, do not hesitate to contact us. We're here to help. With that, we'll see you at our next video. I think I just hit the mic too much there. All right.